If New York City were to get a casino, where would it go? Downstate New York is offering 3 gambling licenses. Read on to find out what has been proposed so far, where casinos could go, and who gets to make the call. New York City is one of the last big untapped gambling markets in the United States and a global tourist destination that anchors a metropolitan region with nearly 23 million citizens, so it's no surprise that casino corporations have been salivating over the thought of a casino there for years. They might find what they need soon. Up to 3 casinos were approved for downstate New York City, Long Island, and Westchester County by lawmakers in Albany back in April. Voters in New York State gave permission for the first casinos like those in Las Vegas to open in the state in 2013. Andrew Cuomo, who was governor at the time, and the state legislature gave upstate casinos permission to open, and they had a lot of time to get going before they had to compete with casinos in the New York City area. The enormous stakes here mean that getting this approved will take a while. Any idea when the casino sites will be revealed? The state's gambling authorities stated that they won't make any decisions until perhaps later in 2023 at the earliest. Who gets to choose the sites for the future casinos? State officials have just nominated 3 people to serve on the Gaming Facility Location Board, which will be responsible for overseeing the application process. Professor of Law at New York University Vicky Bin was deputy mayor for housing and economic development in the administration of Mayor Bill de Blasio. Kania Abreu is the president of the New York Women's Chamber of Commerce. She is a business leader and an advocate for economic growth in New York City's Hunts Point, Queens, the South Bronx, and Washington Heights, Manhattan. Stuart Rabinowitz used to be the president of Hofstra University on Long Island and is now a partner at Meltzer, Lippy, Goldstein and Brightstone. The board will look at the applications and make suggestions to the state's Gaming Commission. The state's Gaming Commission will then make the final decision about who gets a license. But the commission has said that it will not overturn the location board's decision unless there are problems with the applicant's fitness and character. The registration period started at the beginning of the new year. It is time for casinos and developers to put in their formal bids. In each applicant's area, a community advisory committee will be set up to hold public hearings and formally find out how much support there is for the proposed casino. 6 people would make up the local committees for NYC locations, 1 each from the governor, mayor, state senator, state assembly member, borough president, and city council member. When submitting an application to state authorities, be sure at least 2/3 of the committee members are on board with the idea. The developers are putting together proposals that emphasize conveniences and not casinos. All of the most plausible locations and suggestions are listed here. Offers in Manhattan. Check out the plans for a casino reminiscent of Monte Carlo atop Saks Fifth Avenue, a gleaming tower in Times Square, a mixed-use project near the United Nations, and a campaign to remove the name of former President Donald J. Trump's golf property in the Bronx. What does Mayor Eric Adams think about gambling places that are inside the city limits? Mr. Adams has been in favor of casinos ever since he won the Democratic primary last year and went on vacation to Monaco, which is a great place to gamble. As a potential economic boon, he told reporters in March that 2 of the casinos should be built in New York City. The mayor's ties to business are extensive. In his previous role as state senator, he presided over the Racing, Gambling, and Wagering Committee and became mired in controversy when he oversaw the selection of a vendor for video lottery machines at the Aqueduct Racetrack in Queens. In 2010, the state inspector general released a report that alleged he and his colleagues had shown exceedingly poor judgment by mingling with lobbyists and accepting campaign contributions from people with ties to the bidders. The Hotel and Casino Trades Council recently changed its name to reflect the fact that the Racino in Queens is the largest employer for its members. During Mr. Adams's run for mayor, a lobbyist for that union co-managed a super PAC that contributed to his campaign. She has a great deal of power within the New York State Gaming Commission, the body responsible for vetting casino applications. Will New York City host all 3 casinos? In most cases, no. Currently, there are 2 racinos in the area, one in Yonkers, New York, and the other in Albany, New York. The first is Resorts World New York City, owned and operated by the Genting Group, and the second is the Empire City Casino, located in Yonkers, New York, just north of New York City. The addition of live table games like poker and blackjack would require complete casino licenses. It wouldn't take long to turn either racino into a full casino because the infrastructure is already there. Still, they have a lot of lobbyists and have given a lot of money to political candidates. They also have deep roots in the communities where they do business and in the unions of their workers. It is generally agreed that the actual rivalry is for the third license. Hudson Yards-related companies and Wynn Resorts have both put in plans for casinos for the part of the Hudson Yards development that hasn't been built yet, which is on the far west side of Manhattan. Related built Hudson Yards, a brand new area with office towers, a high-end mall, and luxurious apartments. Wynn and Related used the fact that the site was close to the Javits Center as a selling point in a private pitch deck. They claim to be aiming for an upscale demographic. New York City's Times Square. At 1515 Broadway, a tower close to the center of Times Square and the New Year's Eve ball drop, SL Green Realty Corp. and Caesars Entertainment want to construct a vertical casino. SL Green Realty Corp. calls itself New York's largest owner of office buildings. The Broadway theater showing The Lion King is located at the building's base. Coney Island. Joseph Sitt is the founder of Thor Equities Group and an investor in real estate. He wants to open a casino on Coney Island in Brooklyn with help from Saratoga Casino Holdings and the Chickasaw Nation. In the Nassau Coliseum. The casino giant Las Vegas Sands is planning to buy the lease of the Nassau Veterans Memorial Coliseum on Long Island, which is now home to the New York Islanders Hockey Club and other events. The event will be held in Uniondale, New York, which is roughly 2 hours by train east of Midtown Manhattan. Las Vegas Sands, which made the bid alongside developer RXR, promised that the vast casino and hospitality complex would feature 5-star hotels, restaurants from celebrity chefs, and a spa. Fifth Avenue Saks. The Hudson's Bay Company, which owns Saks Fifth Avenue, would like to have a high-end casino at its New York City headquarters. Downtown East. The Soloviev Group and Mohegan Sun, a company that runs casinos and resorts, have said they want to work together on a 6.7-acre piece of land near the United Nations headquarters. Plans call for building a big Ferris wheel, a museum about democracy, and a casino that is mostly underground. This would make room at street level for about 4 acres of public green space. Point Willits. Hedge fund manager Stephen Cohen, the team's owner, has been in talks with Hard Rock to build a casino in Willits Point, Queens, next to the stadium. Trump National Golf Club. Interestingly, the first casino pitch in the Bronx includes the removal of Trump from a section of the publicly owned golf course that bears the previous president's name. 2 people from Bally's Corporation have said that the company has an agreement to buy 17 of the 192 acres that make up the Trump golf course at Ferry Point and that the Trump brand would be removed if they were given a casino license. Watch us online at www.newstoday.nyc and on YouTube at News Today Reviews.